One of my favorite features about AccuDraw is the set origin. What this allows us to do is position the origin, which is the center of the AccuDraw compass, pretty much any place we want to. In this example, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take an existing vault, which is shown here. We're going to need to move it, and we're going to need to place it in relationship to this curb. I've labeled the front of the vault. I put the word front. That is also the front of our design plane. Okay, there's also right. That's the right side of our design plane, also the right side of our vault. The right side, I've taken view number 2 and I've rotated that view so that we're looking at the right side orientation. So as we move the vault, you're going to see it change position in the right view. I've also rotated view number 3, so we're looking at the front of our design plane. So I labeled them for clarity, so you'll be able to get a sense of the orientation. Now I'm going to go to my Move Element tool. Press and hold the right button. On the context menu, I go to Move. Now I need to pick a point to move from. So I'm going to move the vault from the top center here. So I'm going to pick that point. You see the AccuDraw compass appear. It's difficult to see in this highlighted mode for the vault, but that's where the compass is currently located. I need to place the vault in relationship to the curve. So I need to relocate the compass's position. So I'm going to move my cursor to the end here. This is where we use the letter O or Control Tentative. Either one of them would work at this point, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Now I see at my cursor the yellow X, which is AccuSnap. You need to see that in order to use the letter O. If you don't see that and you hit the letter O, the compass will be placed out in space. So you always want to see that yellow X. That's why using Control Tentative sometimes is a little bit easier. But I'm going to hit the letter O. You'll notice as I move my cursor away, the compass gets relocated to that point. Right now, my compass is in top orientation. That's how I want it, flat to my design plane. Now I can just position my vault. I move it along the axis that I want to place it. In this case, I type in 11 feet on my keyboard. Now, if I remain locked on this axis here, everything's fine. But I can move it off axis like that. So if I needed to position that, we're going to see that demonstrated when I go to the Place Cell tool. But I need to have it locked on this axis. And now I data, and I've now moved the vault in relationship to the curb. In view number 2, you see vault is now located planar to the curb top and also positioned behind it. In view number 3, you can see it's now positioned behind the curb and also moved down. So that's moving it using the set origin. Let's go ahead and do an undo. Now we're going to see how about placing the cell right where we need it. So I'm going to go to my Place Cell tool. Now this parametric cell is already the active cell, so I'm already set up. Now you'll see the AccuDraw compass. It always remembers the last point. Well, where we want to place this copy is not where we placed the last one. We want to place it a little bit differently. So what we're going to do is we're going to move our cursor to the other end of the curb. Again, doing a Control Tentative or the letter O, either one. Our compass, again, still is in the top orientation. If it wasn't, we can rotate it to do that by hitting T for top, or you're going to learn in the next video that we can rotate it any way we want to. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit. Now as I go to place this cell, if you'll note where the origin is for the cell, the origin is not the outside face of the vault, it's on the inside face of the vault. I need to take that into account when I'm placing it. If I look at my tool settings window, under the variables group, you're going to see the T. T is for thickness of the wall. It's currently set to 0.5, so I know my wall thickness is 0.5 or half a foot. I move my cursor down along the curb, just like we did before. I'm going to give it a distance. I'm going to go ahead and put it 12 feet down because the origin, remember, is half a foot. It's inside. I need to take that into account, so I'm going to move my cursor out. When I typed in the distance, 12, it locked my AccuDraw X value. So I can easily move it out. Now I can just type in 0.5. That's the wall thickness. I data, reset, and now you can see there's my vault placed as a cell. So that's using the set origin in a 3D environment. You can also combine this with what you learned in the prior video about rotating the compass around to front or side. And what you're going to learn in the next video that you're all going to watch is how we can rotate the AccuDraw compass based upon elements in my file. So we can get things that are at different angles, different slopes. So this set origin, again, works in 2D. Obviously, it works in 3D. Very powerful. See you in the next video.